So people ask me always, especially when I'm traveling around and especially when I'm back in London, is Tulum really a good place to invest?
Hi, John. Thank you for being here. People still ask me if Tulum is still a good investment. You bought 3 years ago. Why do you think Tulum is a great place to invest?
Well, I think the market here is still in its growth phase more than anything. And I think the timing is still right. In fact, probably now more so than ever, because this market is still yet to mature if I consider it against other Caribbean markets. And the reality is this, is that the community here is growing all the time. And I think each time that I come back each winter, I'm seeing improvements, whether it's new roads, whether it's the new airport, whether it's the Mayan train. You know, we're constantly seeing improvements. Again, new supermarkets that are popping up everywhere, new gas stations. You know, it is really becoming very much a town, much like Playa.
Why did you choose these specific gated communities in comparison of other areas in Tulum?
Well, I looked actually at so many different sites and locations around Tulum. I took a lot of time in doing that. And then, of course, when we met, Andrea, you showed me an awful lot of things. And again, it enabled me to make a really decisive choice as to what I really wanted to be around. And I think as soon as I saw Tulum 895, it was evident immediately that this was actually the right site and the perfect location. I think the energy. Holistika in itself is quite unique and quite a mature market and area and district, as opposed to La Valeta, which is, you know, younger and livelier, but certainly noisier, where this has all of the well-being aspects to it. And being directly located to Holistika Hotel, to me, was an absolute no-brainer. So that was the clincher for me. Location, location, and location.
I love that. Imagine the conversations inside the gated community. Well, I already know you, but can you tell our clients who you are and more or less what's the vibe inside the gated community?
Well, I think that's the bit that's, for me, really quite unique about this particular locality, is that it seems to attract people from all sorts of the creative industries and backgrounds. And much like myself, coming from quite a long history working within the music industry, both in the United Kingdom, in London, and internationally, I just feel that this seems to attract very like-minded individuals, and that in itself, I think, is really quite unique. And to have that.
So, John, who do you think should be investing here right now?
I think people that can genuinely see the opportunity is now. The market's probably at its lowest rate that it's been in quite a few years now. It's only going north, that's quite obvious. I think as more infrastructure comes, those prices are only going to increase. So it's really about seizing an opportunity now, rather than sitting around and watching those prices increase over the course of the next 5-10 years. So it's really about he who dares wins. Much the same opportunity that I took. But unfortunately, life had other plans. And I've had to take on a new role as a global creative director back in London. So my time, unfortunately, is not going to be here as much as I would have liked. So another time, I'll certainly be back. But for now, yeah, this is the current plan. So yeah, I think opportunity-wise, it really is about someone that can see and has those understandings of probably locations like this in the Caribbean are going to see that quite immediately.
How was your experience working with me as an agent and with Moskito as a company?
Well, I think for me, I'm slightly more well-versed, I guess, than most in that I've owned property overseas before. But I found it extremely straightforward. The process was super simple. Obviously, I'd met you. I had met several other agents and brokers. I felt far more comfortable with you as a broker. We seem to get on more so as friends, and that's the thing that I found remarkable, actually, is that we've developed a friendship. I've met your newborn child, your handsome son, and your partner, and of course my daughter as well also, you know, and much the same with the developer there. We've become really close friends. And I think that for me is quite similar to my experience actually buying property in Italy, but not London. Yeah? You probably would never become a friend of the agent that sells you a property of any kind in London. It just doesn't happen. So yeah, I think there's a degree of familiarity here, and the process, super straightforward. You introduced me to Daniel, the lawyer in Playa. He took care of everything. It was clearly laid out. to be honest with you, probably easier than buying a property in the United Kingdom, is the fair result. So yeah, no, I was really impressed.
Thank you, John. So we're here on the lot. John, can you tell us a little bit more?
Well, as you can see, I mean, it's kind of pristine virgin jungle, isn't it? I mean, it couldn't be better. And as I said, we've just come and walked. We didn't drive, we didn't take a motor or even a bicycle. We've walked from Holistika Hotel here, from the shots where you've seen earlier. And I just feel that, you know, out of all of the sights, as I said, that I saw, the energy here, more than anything, all you hear is birds, it's silence.
Super calm.
Yeah, it just is. It's almost like you walk into a capsule of time where things just slow down here. And all you hear, as I said, is the nature. And that for me is perfect.
John, thank you so much for your time. And for future clients, please contact us for more information, either to represent you in another area in the Riviera Maya and also to have more information about this beautiful lot that has a great opportunity waiting for you in Tulum.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure, Andrea. You know that.
Yay!